It's Saturday night for CarEdge for Saturday, February 17th with your host, me, the bearded sort of guy, Ray, and well, my handsome son, Zach. And as I just explained to my dear friend Chip, I said we do Saturday night early because, well, most of our audience doesn't stay up that late to watch the real Saturday Night Live.
All right, gang. We pulled one of my favorite tricks out of the hat. The bubble's bursting. All right, and I actually have some great data that we're gonna run through in just a second. For those of you that are new to the channel, my dad and I, we have a company. It's called CarEdge. Go check it out. We're running our President's Day promotion right now. We can help you buy a car, sell a car, get an extended warranty, aka protection on a car. And check out Deal School. It's 100% free. It's under resources. Tonight, Dad, I want to talk about the incredible market shift that new car inventory went from under 1 million vehicles in inventory just 30 months ago. There were 885,000 new cars in dealer inventory. Today, at this very moment, drum roll please, there are 2.61 million vehicles in inventory. We have seen in 30 months a nearly 200% increase in new car inventory. At the same exact time, used car prices are finally falling off from their all-time highs. Buyer's market is one thing. Bubble bursting is another, Dad. I've got even more data I'll pull up in just a second, but I want to get your take. Do you think I'm on the money or am I wrong? Do you think the car market bubble, aka times of great profits for dealers and terrible buyer's market, has finally burst?
The bubble is in fact bursting. Pop goes the bubble. Even though the comments will be, the prices aren't coming down where I live. Well, yes, I know in your driveway, prices have remained sky high. But I shared an article with you this morning from Automotive News about the 6 largest public retail groups, and every one of their gross profits per new car sold. And the way they figure their gross profit, this is front end profit plus F&I profit on those deals. And every one of those dealer groups is down anywhere from 15% to 35%. So, if the biggest dealers in America are selling cars and making less money per car, that's got to mean that the prices are going down, whether you want to believe it or not.
I mean, Dad, we actually have right now the highest market day supply. We'll start with new cars. We'll work our way over to used cars in just a minute here. You have the highest days supply for new cars. I'm going to zoom on in here. This is days supply. Days supply means how many days would it take to sell all available inventory based on the trending sales rate. So how many cars have been sold in the last prevailing 30 days. The days supply right now for 2024 is this dashed line. You also have on this chart 2023. That's the yellow line or the orange line. You have 2022, which is the red line. You have 2021, which for all intents and purposes was the most recent non-pandemic influenced year, the data that we have. Days supply is higher right now than it was in 2021. Days supply is back to where it was pre-pandemic. This is, I don't know a better way to say it. This is the indication of that bubble bursting. And then obviously the dealer groups, when they put out their gross profit numbers, that's another way to measure the fact.
Yes, absolutely. When you look at the 6 largest publicly traded dealer groups and the amount of volume that they do, and we can go through every one of them. The one making the most money per new vehicle sold today is the Penske organization. Reason for that is they sell more luxury brand vehicles than any of the others in that group. Okay, Penske a long time ago decided that they wanted to go after the luxury market more so than the mass market. And because of that, their average gross profit is still what, somewhere around $5,500, including F&I.
Yeah, exactly. Down from $6,500 to $5,500. Every car they sell, gross profit
Every
of
new car.
$5,500. That's insane. Yeah, new car.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you know, AutoNation, which is the second largest publicly traded dealer group, their profits dropped 35% on their new cars, from 5633 to 3653. Okay? I mean, that is a huge decline. That means people are paying $2,000 less profit per new car sold when you include finance and insurance and the front end profit. Well, I don't know I don't know any other way to say this. That means the cars are cheaper. Okay. They can ask whatever they want. What they ultimately sell it for is less than what it had been, and less than what they're asking for on the car. So
Yep.
I know everybody. I know the comments are. I'm going to get besieged with comments that say, "Oh, it's not happening in Southern California. It's not happening in Connecticut. Oh, it didn't happen in New Jersey. You know, you travel to Taos, New Mexico. It hasn't happened there. It's happening all across the country.
I
It's
love that voice.
happening."
Like, to know that that's the voice of our community in your head. I just absolutely love that.
Well, but the point is that the prices have come down.
Yeah.
Not as much as you would like, or as much as we would like, but they have come down. I mean, if profits are down, then prices have to have gone down. You know, the manufacturers haven't squeezed the margins, so it's the price that's gone down that is cut into the profit. The dealers are more aggressive in taking a somewhat shorter deal than what they had been. Doesn't mean that you get it at hello, but it might mean you get it after 30 minutes or 45 minutes of negotiating, of working at it. And then there's some dealers that you do get it at hello, because it's just they're one price store and they put the price on the window, and it's just that simple.
I was about to say that. So, for those of you that have been with us for a while, you know we've tried various different business models here at CarEdge. The one we're doing right now, we are pre-negotiating deals with dealers. We just signed up our first Toyota dealer, Dad, and I was doing price negotiations earlier today. There are some Toyotas out there right now, folks, $2,000 under MSRP. You didn't have to say anything. You just had to come through. You just buy it through CarEdge. You get $2,000 under MSRP. And then they have some, like the Supra, for example, they still want money on top of MSRP. So it depends on, obviously, the availability of that vehicle. But this is Toyota. This is the brand that has the least available inventory. And we're talking to the general manager and to the owner, and they're like, yeah, we'll go $2,000 under MSRP on this. We'll go $1,000 MSRP on that. You know, Zach, when you're working with that customer, call us, because we actually might even be able to go lower, because we know we have incoming units of that. Like, they're wheeling and dealing, man. And Toyota dealers are even wheeling and dealing, and that's in the central United States. And yeah, sure, maybe it is different somewhere else, but like, we're even seeing it with the business we've built. The prices are coming down because the dealers are being forced to take short deals because the inventory is sitting there. The other factor and all that, obviously, is floor
Yes,
plan
and
cost.
and we discussed that yesterday. Um, you know, the available new vehicle inventory for the month of February will be 2.61 million vehicles. That means between what the dealers have on the ground right now and what they have coming in prior to the 29th of February will all add up to 2.61 million. That is still close to a million vehicles less than what it had been, say, in 2019. Because a normal month in 2019, your new car availability on a monthly basis was somewhere between 3.4 and 4 million new cars, month in, month out. The difference is that the cost to carry the 2.61 million cars is greater than it cost the dealers to carry the 3.4 to 4 million cars in 2019 because interest rates have gone up so much.
Yep.
So that is another reason why dealers are more motivated to take shorter deals on their vehicles. It's just that their costs have gone up. So
Yep.
you need more clickbait from YAA. No, I'm afraid not. And yes, I'll say it to the world. My son loves clickbait. Got his PhD at Clickbait University. Okay, there's not very many people on YouTube that do clickbait quite like Zach does.
Thank
But
you, Dad.
sometimes there is a lot of truth in those clickbait titles. And you have to realize that.
Tonight's one of those nights. Every once in a while, I actually get it right. And yeah, YA is the good old days. CarEdge is the name of the game nowadays. I do, Dad. I wanna pull something up there. We have one of our community members here, Scott. Good to see you, Scott Levin. Depends where you are. Buffalo's still lagging in inventory. Let's have part of tonight's show. Let's go to the car search.
Okay.
And let's look. I mean, right now I'm in Miami, but I could put a Buffalo zip code, and I think that'd be like
let's do that.
Let's do it. So that's 14201. I think that'll take me to Buffalo. And then we have been doing a great job. I shouldn't say we, I should say Justin. Justin on our team has been doing a great job. CarEdge.com/guides. These are the 2024 new cars and trucks that just aren't selling. That's good news for you. Let's look at his list here. 2024 Ford F-150. Nationwide days supply is 213. There's 1.9% financing on Ford F-150s for 72 months right now.
That's 2023s, isn't it?
It's on 23s and I think on 24s as well, Pops.
Because there's not very many 24s out yet.
I would say, or I should say, and Ford and F-150s are some of the vehicles you can get back on CarEdge.com delivered to your door. But let's do it, Dad. Let's do Ford F-150. Now we're in Buffalo. Let's do new vehicles only, and let's see what's going on. XLT, 101 days on the market. Drum roll, please. 111 days supply. Is that lower than the national average? Yes. Is that still quite high? Yes.
Absolutely, that's high. And let's face it, this is not a robust time of the year for new auto sales in Buffalo. January and February are without a doubt in that region the two slowest months of the year. I mean, if you didn't have to, why would you go buy a brand new vehicle in the middle of a friggin' snowstorm? And, pretty much that's what December, January, and February are in Buffalo. So it doesn't surprise me that prices might be lagging because, well, sales are slower in February and everybody knows it there.
Let's look at another one, Dad. So instead of an F-150, why don't we switch gears and let's look at one of the import brands. So this will actually should demonstrate. Let's look at like a Honda, for example. So now we'll do a Honda CRV. We're doing new ones. Here's a 2024. This is in transit. 3 days that they've been advertising this. Let's do one that's actually on the ground here. So this is over at Northtown, I guess. 58 days
snap delivery, buddy. A snap delivery.
I like that. That's good branding. 58 days supply. So much, much, much lower than the F-150 that we were just looking at. Almost half. Let's do another one. Let's try a Toyota and let's do a RAV4.
Okay. I was going to say a Sienna, but.
Okay, we'll do the RAV4 and then we'll do the Sienna. 141 days on market. Wow. That means they've been advertising this thing for a while.
Yes.
But yeah, 27 days supply. So this does demonstrate breaking it down by brand. We've got someone saying, can you do a Grand Highlander? Let's look at the Grand Highlander. Let's go back real quick. Actually, let's do that Sienna that you mentioned, Pops. We'll do the Sienna first. In transit. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, most of them are in transit.
This number is going to be wrong because so many of them are in transit. Yeah.
Yes.
And still the Siennas, a lot of them are going to be spoken for. So that's Buffalo. At some point tonight, we'll go around to other parts of the country. Let us know where you want us to plug in. We'll look at what's going on in your neighborhood. But the lead story for tonight is very, very, very simple. New car inventory, we'll talk about used cars in a second. New car inventory is up nearly 200%. I don't feel
Yes.
bad rounding 195% up to 200% over 30 months. The all-time lows are gone, and as a result, we are now seeing more and more pressure being put on car dealers to give back some of those record-setting profits that they had in years prior,
And
and truly a buyer's market.
they all are, at least in the big publicly traded groups. Pull that screenshot up again. Take a look at it. Asbury, their number dropped 21% from 53.89 to 42.82. Okay, down $1,100. We did automation. Group 1 down 25% from 54.58 to 4,099. That's what, $1,400, almost $1,400. Lithia, the largest publicly traded group in the country, down 27% from 53.44 to 38.99. It is across the board. Sonic down 30% from 61.30 to 42.89. The one that dropped the least, like I said, was Penske, and that's because they carry so many BMWs, Mercedes Benzes. They are Lexus. They are in the luxury business. That has been their bread and butter forever. And obviously those vehicles have a slightly higher profit margin. But you look at those numbers, and across the board, are there local dealers that might not be lowering their prices as much as what these mega groups are doing? Perhaps. Are there some that are slower moving towards being more motivated to make deals? Perhaps. But I can assure you that in every corner of the country, people are paying less for the vehicle today than they were a year ago for the same vehicle. The dealers are making less per new car sold now than they did a year ago, than they did
Absolutely.
6 months ago. So,
Absolutely.
yes, prices are still too damn high, and until they come down to like 2015 numbers, nobody's going to be happy, and we're going to hear, yeah, well, they went up 50%. They've only come down 3%. They're coming down, okay,
Yeah.
and it's not like when you were trying to buy a car in the past that you didn't have to work at it to get a good deal. You did. It always required time, effort, and energy to negotiate between dealerships, to work one against the other, to be able to get a better deal. It's the same today. There are some groups out there that make it kind of simple and just give you a discounted price and an out the door price right from Jump Street. Mullinax Ford, the Mullinax Group, that's how they work. There's others.
What about we gotta work on that.
CarEdge?
I was about to say we gotta work on this.
I mean, what about us? Yeah,
I
every day.
do want to take a second there, Dad. I really, really, really do. I want to take a second. Put in a vehicle you're interested in a zip code, and we'll help you out tonight. That'll be a major portion of tonight's show, is going to show people what's going on in your area and try and set some expectations, realistic expectations for price. And when you go on the doggone website and you don't listen to all my pitching, go under resources. Everything that's free that we have is under resources. And then go to Deal School. It's the second one down. Go to Deal School. Please, please, please. The cheat sheets are great. The strategy card. There's so many resources here. Like, I'll click on the strategy card. The strategy card is literally an index card that you can print out and take with you when you go to the dealership. Of course, our business has become just buy the car from us instead of buying it from the dealership. But all the resources are there. And I really just want to hammer home, if nothing else, we're going to be talking about how it's a buyer's market for a while. Go use those free resources.
For all you do-it-yourselfers, there's all that free information. Have we updated the free data yet? Has that been updated?
We're still working on that.
I'm just asking, do we have a timeline, damn it?
All right, we're gonna keep it moving here, folks.
Apparently, we don't. I hit a sensitive subject. I apologize.
It's like updating these software things takes forever, man. But anyway, we had someone request Honda Pilot, and the zip code was 32259. Let's get a pulse on the Honda Pilot market. Photos coming soon. That's always a good start. Let's look at this. We've got a Touring here, Dad. I guess we're in somewhere in Florida. Let's come down. 119 days supply of Pilot Tourings. Our algorithm is suggesting you can get a couple $1,000 off. So go take a peek at that. That is more supply than I was thinking. The Pilot at a $50,000 price point, that could maybe be why the Pilot is sitting around a little bit longer.
And then again, you're in Florida, which is the home of the outrageous dealer profit fees, such as dock fee, which is on the low side in Florida, is like $1,000.
Isn't that insane to say out loud?
And electronic filing fees for like $599, which is a $10 thing. So you should be able to work the dealer for a good discount off the selling price of the car if the dealer is going to add on all those ridiculous dock fees and electronic filing fees. And then maybe, just maybe, you negotiate those fees as well.
Yeah, 100%. All right, Dad, let's do another one. Marcia, she's looking for a Subaru Forester in 46615. I'm trying to think, where would 46615 be? That's somewhere in the middle of the country. Oh, there you go, Indiana. We're in Indiana. Okay. We've got in transit. Let me find a real one.
Isn't the Subaru manufacturing plant in Indiana? If I'm not mistaken.
Could be.
It is.
Whoa, look at that. 157-day market supply. That's going to be slightly influenced by all those in-transit vehicles. Yes. Dad, I remember with one of our customers recently on the concierge side of our business, so not the point and click and buy, but the concierge where we do all the legwork for you. I think we actually did a Subaru deal at $3,000 under MSRP in Colorado, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, the Subaru Foresters went from, and the whole Subaru lineup went from having no inventory to now a surplus of inventory and deals to be had, which is really great. And look at this comment from Brandon, Dad.
Yeah.
The gamesmanship is back on. To your point, simply called a car dealer today to confirm promotions, and by the end of the call, they offered an additional $1,000 off. It's February 17th, folks. It's not even the last day of the month.
Yes, please come in. If you're serious about, please come in. If we get, please, it's February, damn it. Can you please come in? I mean, you have a cousin who today texted me and said Impreza RX, the Subaru RS. He was thinking about that. I did some research for him, got some valuable information.
Jed needs a Subaru. Let us help him, man. I really want to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't have to do it by himself. That's for sure. Dad, we've got another one from our community here. Give me 1 second. This one came in from Steve. Yes. Steve's thinking about a Buick Enclave. Let's check out Buick. I haven't really been thinking about Buick. 80120. That's going to be somewhere.
That's Arizona, isn't it?
Is that Arizona? That's Colorado.
Okay.
He's thinking about the premium, so let's give it a quick click here. Wow, I can't believe how expensive Buicks are.
Well, the Enclave, because that's the bigger one.
Look at that, man. So what does that say to Steve, Dad? How does Steve leverage this information? And we also know 246 days that this dealer has been advertising this vehicle. How does Steve leverage that in his area when he goes to this dealer? What do what's the dealer thinking here?
What he should do when he goes to that dealer is he should know what color he wants. He should introduce himself to whatever salesperson says hello and says, by the way, could you do me a small favor before we get started? Would you go please check with your sales manager, your new car manager, and ask him what the oldest stock number is for the color and the model that I want. I'd like to take a look at that because I know typically the longer you've had the car, the more motivated you are to make it go away. So let me start by saying, I'll do you a favor if you do me a favor. And I think that's how I would start.
Yeah, and then Steve knows he's got a hell of a lot of negotiating leverage
Yes,
because it's been sitting for so long. I mean, that's an
yes,
example. The Buicks are a great example of some of the vehicles that are sitting a little longer. We're going to come back here in a second, and sure, we'll do a Toyota RAV4 hybrid in California, and I can assure you the market for Toyota RAV4 hybrids in California, although more negotiable today than it had been, is still not going to be nearly as negotiable
yes,
as that Buick dealer in Colorado, because there's just not going to be a 300-day supply of RAV4 hybrids in California. Again, better than it was, but still not going to be quite like that Buick. We'll do
yeah.
another example here. Let's actually jump over and we'll do a Mazda. Mazda has had highly variable market day supply and inventory. So this is a Mazda CX-9, and this is a 92865. Give me a second here,
My
folks.
and my suspicion is there's not going to be a lot of CX9s available.
What was that zip code again, Pops?
92865.
And then this was a Mazda. Mazda is one of the brands you can also purchase directly on CarEdge. Are they doing the CX-9, or is it all just the CX-90 at this point?
Well, the CX9 was prior to the CX90.
I don't think there is a new CX-9 right now, though. I mean, we can
There should
check.
be still. There it is.
Yeah, but these are all 2023s. It's the
Well,
CX-90.
well, yeah, but they're still new. They're leftovers.
Yeah, but there's 67 nationwide.
Well, I think I said to you, there's not going to be very many because. So yes, it proves my point.
There's 100. I mean, there's just not enough data to make this really statistically significant for you.
it's a model that they've discontinued, and there's only 67 left in the country.
If I'm
But
not
you should be
mistaken,
able to get a deal.
definitely. Mazda's offering those some fairly significant. I think they're offering, is it 1.9% on the CX-90s right now? I mean, yeah, there you go. 83-day supply. Not low, not high.
Yeah.
But there are financing offers on the CX-90s right now. And I'd imagine if you had a lingering CX-9 as well, dealer would be willing to help you move on from that one. The dealer, not the OEM, the dealer.
Yeah, because the OEM probably doesn't have any incentives, because if there's only 67 left in the country, that's on the dealer to figure out how to get rid of it.
Yeah, 100% on the dealer. All right, we're going to go into the chat here for just a moment, and then we're going to talk about used cars, folks. Please, because the whole first 30 minutes of tonight's show, we're talking about new car market, and yeah, really the bubble has burst there. But what's going on the used car side of things, we will turn our attention there in just a second. From Jesse Drox. Jesse, thank you for the contribution.
Thank you,
Love
sir.
the channel. What do you think of a used 2015 Lexus GS 350 out the door price of $26,260 from AutoNation? Cheers from Las Vegas. I'm just going to throw one thing out there because it's kind of be like a precursor to our used car conversation. Used car prices in the wholesale market had been like catching a falling knife.
Yes.
Retail prices hadn't fallen quite as much, but I'm just going to go out on a limb and say this is probably still got a lot of wiggle room in it. That's just my gut. Maybe we can even do some experimentation on the show to try and show that. What do you think?
Well, we also know that used car wholesale prices have stopped falling as dramatically. They've stabilized in preparation for tax return season and spring selling season. It just seems 26,260. I know taxes or sales taxes and registration fees are pretty high in Nevada. So I don't know. I would, you know me, I would run it through our sell widget to get some idea.
What do you think I'm up to over here right now? What do you think
to get some idea as to what the wholesale market for that vehicle would be today, which you can then extrapolate from that what a good retail number should be.
Exactly. So bear with me, folks. I'm actually trying to find this right now. It's at AutoNation, he said, in Las Vegas.
Yes, AutoNation.
All right, give me a second.
Yes, I'm assuming it's
here. I can share my screen actually, so everyone can watch me try and find this. We'll try our best to help you, Jesse. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to try and find it. Or actually, if you want to send us the VIN, actually, let's do that, Jesse. Put the VIN in the chat, and then what we're going to do is we're going to pretend to sell it. We're going to go to caredge.com/sell. We're going to pretend to sell it, and we're going to see what cash offers, we'd get if we were selling that car. It's the best way to figure out if you've got a fair price on a used car. Let's go here, Dad, from Brian. Brian, thank you for the contribution. Great. Greetings, fine sirs. Thank you for calling us, sirs. Could you tell me how a car purchased from CarEdge gets shipped? Does someone drive it or is it trailered? Thanks for this channel. Get shipped. We also give you a credit if you don't want to have it shipped to you to actually go pick it up from the dealership. At the end of the day, you are buying a car from a car dealer. We just do everything in between. You only talk to the dealership when you go for the e-sign process to do your verification of your identity. So we handle everything. Which is great because it means you get a really, really awesome experience. But yes, the vehicle gets shipped to you. It's not driven to you. And we do give you a credit because it costs a lot of money for us to ship it to you. Depending on where you live, we do give you a credit to go pick it up from the dealership. And of course, we try and find the closest dealership to you. But so far, folks, we got 3 dealer groups. It's the first inning of a 9-inning game. It's going to be a long time of us trying to build the business. But if we can help you, Brian, just submit your information back on CarEdge.com. And we'll
may I say, honestly, Zach, I believe it's the first inning of a 9-inning game, and it's the first game of a 162-game season.
Yeah, man, it's really hard. Selling cars is really hard. It really is. All right, we're going to come back to this from Jesse. Okay, you can't copy and paste from the interface we use. So, Dad,
okay, so I'll read it to you, Zach.
Give me a second. All right.
You ready?
No, not yet. All right, go for it.
JTHBE 1BL 1FA 011002.
Okay, now bear with me, folks, because I actually need to go find that car. Yeah, cool. So I just had to find it because we don't know how many miles are on it.
They've now 52,213.
So it's got 52,213 miles. So let me copy that. And yes, folks, we do have a VIN search on the car search. So you can search by make, model, or what I just did is I just went to VIN, popped it in. Whoops, it's no longer copied, but popped it in there. And that's how I was able to get there. So let's come back here. Do you remember, Dad? Let me get rid of that comment. Do you remember what they were trying to sell this? It was like 26 or 27,000?
It was 26 and change out the door.
Okay. We'll say it has a clean title. We'll say it's owned outright. Sure. Never been in an accident. No minor, nothing. We're going to say it's in the best possible condition. Let's see here. No mechanical issues, no fluid leaks, no aftermarket parts. Again, we want to get the highest offer possible. And let's see. Let us see.
Yeah, this will give us an idea as to what at least the wholesale value is, and that should impact what the retail value should be.
Because the number that you're about to see here is what Echo Park is willing to write you a check for $18,020 if you owned this car and they were going to buy it from you right this moment. Car Gurus, their network would offer you $15,300. Give me the VINs pending. Carvana is also pending. So what was the dealer asking? It was like 26, 27,000?
It was 26 to 60, something like that, out the door. So, I'm guessing it's
they've got it advertised at 23,598.
Yeah.
Let's look at the price history real quick. I mean, they've come down, what is that, $800 since they originally listed it for sale?
And they've had it for sale for 27 days.
So you're working them for another one, what, $1,000, $2,000?
I don't know that you can work them for, maybe 1,000, I would guess. Maybe you get it for 25,600, 25,500.
And Igor's reminding us AutoNation proclaims to be a non-negotiating store.
Typically, they don't anymore. Yeah. Typically, they don't. So if it's a nice car, as somebody once said, and I believe Igor will validate what I'm about to say, for a dealership, if it's a nice car, you can never pay too much for a nice car, and you always pay too much for the crap cars. So if it's a nice car, they might have had to pay up to get it. So, and it sounds like they might have had to. I don't know, because that's for a 2015. That is really low miles. So, and if everything about that, if it's a clean Carfax, if you get a pre-purchase inspection and everything checks out, that's a car that has another 250,000 miles worth of life, 300,000 miles worth of life.
It's a Lexus, man. It's gonna last. Yeah. Yeah,
So
absolutely. Let's keep moving, Dad. Lots of thoughtful contributions have come through in the chat. You do not need to contribute monetarily for us to pull your message up in the chat. I want to just remind everyone of that, although it does make it a certain color that catches my eye. So better
yeah,
chance of me pulling it up. Chance-tastic, thank you for the contribution. What's going on with Ford Echo Sports? It looks like Texas. Yeah, that's Dallas, Texas. Let's take a quick peek at what's going on with Echo Sports. When was the last year? They don't have new ones. Yeah. No, when was the last year Ford Echo Sports were produced? It looks
I,
like maybe 2020.
I don't know, honestly.
Yeah, it looks like 2020. So let's click on one here. This is what's nice about the CarEdge car search, by the way, is you can do your own searches here. So we'll go to this Ford Echo Sport that's being sold at a Toyota dealership, and we can see there's 135 days supply. This dealer's only had it for about 23 days. I don't have a great pulse on the Ford Echo Sport market in Dallas. I would have to do a significant amount more clicking around here, but hopefully that gives you a sense, chance-tastic, of what's going on there. Let's turn our attention, Dad, to the Golf R. That one's probably going to be tricky to negotiate, especially depending on if it's a manual or an automatic transmission. But let's
Just
jump
being
over
the
there.
Golf R is going to make it more difficult.
Yeah, they make that in a manual transmission, right? They have to.
They used to. I don't know if they still do. I would imagine they do.
They must. 28227. I'm going to put that zip code in. 227 right here. And we're looking at a Volkswagen
Used
and a
2018.
and a Golf R. 2019, 2022. Let's see if one just pops up here. If I got to use the year filter, I got to use the year filter. We'll go here and we'll say 2018. And there you go. Wow. 44,000 miles and it's still a $31,000 vehicle. That's crazy to me.
Well, it's
But there
only
you go.
a 30.
There's a 0 days supply. No, there's only a 74-day supply. 18 of them for sale. And what's that? Within 500 miles.
Well, there's not a lot of Golf Rs.
Yeah, I mean, that helps you realize, like, that's more of a specialty vehicle, so
Yes.
it's gonna be
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there you go. Space, good to see in the chat. Space, Golf R is at MSRP on a new one. Makes tons of sense. They are
Yes.
fairly limited. And then, Dad, let's come here back to the chat for a moment. We've got from a Ram.
Well,
I
thank
love
you,
that.
Ram. Yeah.
Not the truck.
Yeah.
I've always bought used on CarMax because I'm too lazy to try and haggle. I'm buying in the next few weeks. Where should I go to buy a certified used vehicle? Interesting. And let's also talk about this. This will be a bit of our parlay into the used car market update, which is, and you led with this a second ago, retail prices are unfortunately starting to go back up a little bit, it seems, as we enter spring. So we need to do, we're also going to get crap in the comments when we do this video. We're going to do a wait 90 days to buy a used car video soon. And it's really sound advice if you can do it, because used car prices are about to start going back up, aren't they?
Yes, you're it's tax return season, and we're 2 weeks away from March, and March is the start of spring selling season. So dealers are building up their used car inventories for those two reasons, and that tax season usually stops sales wise the end of April, beginning of May. So, and then you'll start seeing pricing coming down again. So, legitimately, the wait 90 days makes sense. Now, when somebody sees that video in the middle of June, then they're going to be mad at us. But that's okay. People are mad at us all the time. Let's talk about certified cars,
And where to go?
because there is a difference between a manufacturer certified used car program and a third party certified used car program. And there's a significant difference between the two. The manufacturer usually has slightly tougher guidelines that the dealers have to follow when they do their inspections of the vehicle before they can certify them. The amount of coverage is usually higher with a manufacturer certified program. Third party certified programs, it's all whoever the underwriter is. And they might not do the right thing all the time, like perhaps a manufacturer might.
Yeah. So
So
your big thing is
having
make sure you understand who's actually doing the certification.
exactly. So it's going to if you have a particular type of car in mind and you're thinking, okay, well, it's a certified car at CarMax. Well, it's a third party certification. It is not the manufacturer's certification.
No, I don't think that's necessarily what Aram is saying here. I think he or she's saying like, "Hey, I've typically bought from CarMax.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about getting a certified used car." And I think your point's valid. You need to understand who's certifying the vehicle. Is it the
Yes.
OEM or is it some third party? And let's talk a little bit about where to buy a used car. Obviously, your local car dealer will have used cars, but do you recommend folks think about CarMax, Carvana? Vroom went out of business, so you can't really go to them. Like, do you have a preference there?
I recommend that they go wherever they're comfortable. I mean, if you don't like the haggle, if you don't want to work at it, then there's CarMax. And there's other regional players like
And you're
that.
paying a premium when you go
Yeah,
to
and you
CarMax.
pay a
That's fine,
premium
and
for
that's
that.
fine. It's
Yeah.
totally fine.
If you want to get a manufacturer certified pre-owned car, then you're going to have to go to that branded dealer in order to get one. And I will say this, I don't care where you buy the car, get a pre-purchase inspection done on the car prior to buying it. All I can suggest is that sometimes mechanics work quickly and sometimes they might miss something. So protect yourself. Make sure you get a clean bill of health. Make sure they didn't miss anything when they did their inspection of the vehicle so that you can get that handled prior to purchasing it, or even perhaps use it as as negotiating leverage to get a slightly better deal.
Yep.
It's no different than getting a home inspection on that house you're thinking about buying. You need to do that with your cars.
And if I may, I'm going to
You
do
may.
it. Pre-purchase inspection. Where can you learn more about that? You go to CarEdge.com, you click on resources, you come to free guides, or actually, we're going to break it. We're going to just do pre-purchase inspection space CarEdge in Google search. Just do that. That's even our website navigation, not the best in the world. Google, pretty doggone good. Just Google search pre-purchase inspection CarEdge, and then this guide will pop up. And then read the guide.
And
We've got
the cost
really,
to
really,
read that
really
guide is what?
really good resources. Really good resources. Please, please, please go take advantage of them.
Yeah, they're
Let's
free.
keep it moving. It's free. Let's keep it moving here. Pops from Cappy Ram. We went from a Ram to
Ram
Cappy
to a
Ram.
Cappy Ram. Okay.
Thank you for the contribution. We appreciate it. Used Nissan Kicks or Toyota Corolla Cross. Which one is better in general? Do you recommend to buy now or wait for any of those? Thank you. Now, we are on YouTube.
Yes.
YouTube is the land of F Nissan transmissions and go
Yeah.
Toyota. I'm generally aligned with that. I would choose the Toyota Corolla Cross here as well, but this is all I'm just saying. We're on YouTube, so that's a bit of a Toyota. It can be a Toyota echo chamber.
I
I would
would
go Toyota though.
I would as well. Yes, I would select the Toyota over the Nissan Kicks.
Yeah, and then timing wise for a used Toyota Corolla Cross, interestingly, Dad,
They just came
I'm
out
thinking
last
Toyota.
year.
Yeah, I'm less hesitant. I'm less bullish on the train of just wait and the price will get better on the Toyota. I wanted to bring it up tonight, and Cappy, I think this will help answer the question.
While
We've
you're
been
doing that,
research.
I have to go pull a device off of its charger because it's making funny noises. I'll be right back.
Okay, you do that while you're doing that. Better than when he has to go on a bathroom break live on the show. Cappy, I think this will help you out. We've been doing research on every single automaker and how much they've increased their new vehicle transaction prices. So Toyota prices, for example, have only increased 19% over the last 5 years. For some context here, Jeep prices, that was the video on the channel today, have gone up 61% in the past 5 years. So the reason I'm bringing that up in the context of a used Toyota Corolla Cross is new Toyota prices, while they've gone up, they haven't gone up quite that much, which makes me think they're not going to depreciate nearly as fast as some of the other vehicles out there. That's why I'm saying I don't think there's going to be as much price volatility in a used Toyota Corolla Cross. I would start shopping now and haggle, negotiate, do the whole 9 yards. And there you go. That's for a new one.
Yes,
New one, obviously, would be $1,000 off. Yep.
Yes.
We have, again, Toyota dealers now that we're working with, and they are $1,000 off on the Toyota Corolla Cross off of MSRP. Get it delivered to your door. You don't even have to talk to the doggone salesperson. Biggie Smalls.
Not Biggie Smalls.
You ready to go for this one? Good evening,
Yeah.
gentlemen. I have a 2016 Mazda 3 from CarMax, 67,000 miles, between $16,000 to $18,000 out the door. Can you tell me if this is a good purchase or is it a bust? How would you analyze this, Dad, knowing it's coming from CarMax? What's the first thought going through your head?
Well, um, you're already overpaying.
Because it's CarMax, which is
Yeah,
fine.
it's CarMax. Now it's an 8-year-old Mazda 3. I don't know which Mazda 3 it was, but I can't imagine in 2016 that even the highest option Mazda 3 could have been more than what, 25, $26,000. Um, so somewhere between 16 and 18 out the door seems high to me by a lot.
Yeah. I won't speak for my dad. I would be doing the same thing we were demonstrating earlier. I would grab the VIN for that vehicle. I would go to CarEdge.com/sell and I would be entering it in here. Let me start over. I'd be entering it in here and seeing what whoops, let me share my screen. I'd be going to CarEdge.com/sell. I'd enter the VIN in here and I'd see what the wholesale offers are. See what CarMax would pay to buy that car from themselves. Why not? It's good market research to help you pressure test how fair a price is. And again, makes sense why you're paying a premium at CarMax. You don't have to
Yes.
negotiate. You don't have to worry about taking advantage of too much, the pressure sales tactic. So just know what you're getting into. There's no right or wrong answer there. From Daniel Kitt. Thank you, Daniel, for the contribution. Gentlemen, having trouble negotiating a Chevy Tahoe RST in Southern California. It's been on the lot for a while. No budging. We just did a Tahoe RST out of New England. I'm trying to think what the price was. I think it was $1,000 under invoice on a Chevy Tahoe.
Wow.
All right, let's grab this VIN pops and let's take a quick peek.
So maybe we need to shop another Chevy. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's like Chevy dealers in every corner in Southern California.
No, trust me. We need more dealers in the network. I get that,
Yeah.
but also we did ship a Chevy Trax across the entire country, and even a Trax costs a lot of money to get to California. Dad, can you read out this VIN for me?
Yes, I can. 1GNSCRKD9RR119,783.
Let's check this out. $71,000 Chevy Tahoe RST. Let me do a quick refresh here. Wow, it's saying no data. That must mean there's not a lot of available inventory. 42 days supply in Southern California. They've had it for 63 days that they've been advertising it. Yeah, I'm not too surprised then in Southern California, $70,000 3-row human hauler, that the dealer's not being too negotiable on that, especially if they've only had it for 2 months. That's actually not that long in GM land.
No, it is not.
I think floor plan for GM, if you floor plan through them, they'll give you floor plan assistance for over 90 days. So Daniel, if I'm in your shoes, I'm looking out of state. I'm going to I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to Las Vegas. What can I get out of that?
No. Las Vegas, they charge too much for everything in Las Vegas.
Phoenix?
From their damn shrimp cocktails to everything
Phoenix?
else. I might suggest Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City. There you go. Check out Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City, Albuquerque.
Yeah.
But Vegas, the dealers in Vegas, they're pigs. They are. Most of them out there. I mean, they just charge way too much. And we hear it all the time that the dealers in Phoenix, they've been holding tight on their price. But Phoenix is a huge car market. I mean, some of the largest dealers in the country are in the Phoenix area.
Southwest is because you have to. I mean, it's non-negotiable. You have to have a car to get around there. Let's keep moving, Dad. Incredibly kind contributions from the community tonight. From Dust Devil 910, we got another VIN here. The out the door was $40,317. They tried to get us to pay $1,700 for a ceramic coating today, and we walked. Let's actually look at this VIN because I want to compare the advertised price to what the out the door price was. This is something we obviously preach, or if you're new to the channel, just Google search out the door price space CarEdge, and you'll see we're very passionate about that. Let's zoom in, Dad, so you make sure I don't have any typos. I think it's YV, and then what?
Yeah, YV 4102 DL8M1787877.
Feels like there's too many numbers in there. That's a
Apparently not.
Volvo Inscription for front wheel drive. So there you go. Like, let's just sit here for a second, gang. And where were we? Where is this? Let me scroll down. We are in, this is Florida. Oh,
Oh,
perfect.
yeah.
So we have here on the page, when you search for cars on CarEdge.com, we have an estimated out the door price. I'm going to pull this off for just a quick second so you can see it there. The estimated out the door price that we had was $38,644 based on flat taxes and estimated fees. And from our community, we didn't know, right? The website
Yeah.
doesn't know that the dealer was going to charge $1,700 for ceramic coating, but
Why
that's how an advertised price of $34,835 goes to an out the door price of $40,317.
But it's a pre-owned car, isn't it? Yes.
Of course, it's a
So
2021.
there shouldn't be any nobody's throwing ceramic coating on a pre-owned car. There's no point in doing that. The whole idea of selling ceramic coating, you just sell it at the time of purchase of the brand new car, so that you can sit there as the F&I manager and say, "Oh my God, it's gonna keep the freshness of the paint. Oh, it's gonna look like factory forever." 2 years, 3 years later, after 17,000 miles of driving, yeah, that ceramic coating is going to keep every defect well taken care of, every paint chip. No, and they probably haven't even done it. I mean, why would you on a used car?
Yeah.
What?
No, I hear those, like, there's a crap ton of fraud with those
Yes.
types of products. We don't know. We haven't ever talked to this dealer or visited them or anything like that, but so we don't know. And with those paint protection products, interior protection products, you have no clue if it's actually
Yeah,
applied.
and
I don't want to say I hate those products, but like, those ones make me nervous.
it's just nobody's pre-installing them on used cars. I mean, you don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You pre-install it on a new car because you can say, "Oh my, it's going to keep the finished factory fresh forever." It's a used
On a
car.
used car. Yeah.
Acid rain, everything else, hurricanes. What? Stop! Bird poop's been on. Come on, paint chips, rock chips. You're not ceramic coating that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Anyway, perfect example of what goes on in the state of Florida and why a lot of customers in Florida buy cars from the state of Georgia. All right, let's keep moving here, Pops. Omar, thank you for the kind contribution, Omar. Is this a good time for private sales? I listed my 2021 Nissan Kicks with low mileage almost 2 weeks ago and have only gotten low offers. Should I just take the CarMax or Echo Park deal at this time? Private party is always the way to get the most money. It's just a bit more of a hassle. Typically, yeah.
Typically, you're going to get more money through private sale, but as you're finding out, you're in the used car business suddenly, Omar, and guess what? There's never a guarantee. I learned this when I had a Golf USA franchise in Mesa, Arizona. Just because I unlocked the door at 9:00 in the morning didn't mean anybody had to open it. And you find out when you private party try to sell something, just because you have a nice car, it's your car. God knows it's nice. It's your car. Doesn't mean anybody's got a call on it and offer you a fair amount of money for it. That's the hope, but it's not a guarantee.
Yeah, definitely. There are a couple things you can do, like have your service history handy, obviously give people a Carfax report, like try and make it as easy as possible. And then, at the end of the day, that's why we have caredge.com/sell. And that's why, aggregating all of the cash offers is really valuable so that you have some barometer before you do try and sell a private party or unfortunately potentially give up and just sell it to one of the big car dealers. Tyler Hemmings, thank you, Tyler. 2023 Gladiator Rubicon. We're out in Arizona. I recognize that zip code. I've tried your negotiation tactics at several dealers, and they're not budging. Do I hold off? That is surprising because here on the East Coast, we've got a Jeep dealer in our CarEdge network behind the scenes, and I'm trying to remember, Dad. We might be. I think we're well below $1,000 under dealer invoice on the Jeeps, even the Gladiators, even the Rubicons, and especially the Gladiators. So I don't know, Tyler, maybe that's an Arizona exclusive thing, but like there's huge discounts happening on the Gladiators right now.
Well, I think the simple answer to your question is, do I hold off? Yes, absolutely. Let them choke on it first.
Because they are. Jeep dealers are choking on the
Yeah.
Gladiators. I'll find that data that we showed on the Ray and Zach channel yesterday about dealers denying allocations because the Gladiators are being denied like crazy.
Yeah, dealers are turning down allocations. So let them sit on it. Make sure they have your phone number, because at a certain point they're going to start calling you, because they're going to need to get rid of it.
Give me 1 second, Pops. I'm going to pull up here the allocation. This is not, nationwide. This is for a particular region. Let me share this on the screen. This is for a particular region of the United States right now. Every negative number is for in that region, how many of that vehicle have been denied allocation by those dealers. And I'm going to scroll down just a little bit. So in this particular region of the country, not going to name the region, but in this particular region of the country, you can see it says it right there, Jeep Gladiator Rubicon minus 35. That means the dealers in this area have denied allocation for 35 Jeep Gladiator Rubicons that the OEM, Jeep, is telling dealers, hey, help us take this. That means prices have to go down. They might play games for another couple of weeks, but the OEM's putting pressure on them. That's ultimately going to drive the price down as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you, everyone, for the kind contributions. This is awesome. Jim, thank you. Are you adding any Lincoln dealerships to your network? Yes, we have one down in Georgia. I'm interested in a new or certified 2022, 2023 Aviator Grand Touring. Jim, go on CarEdge.com, enter your information for that particular vehicle. Depending on how far away from Georgia you live, you might have to pay for some aspect of shipping, but we do have a Lincoln dealer down in Georgia, so we should hopefully be able to help you out. So thank you for the contribution, and we appreciate your interest. And then from Alexandri, Pops, with the super sticker, and that means one thing and one thing.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, buddy. Okay, I just hurt my back. Jeez.
Did you actually?
A little bit. Yeah, I tweaked it a little bit. I'll survive.
Wait, doing that?
What?
Doing that right there?
Yeah, because the chair moved as I was trying to push myself up. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll come take the train to Washington and borrow your heating pad.
I love that heating pad. I don't want you to hurt your back, man. You don't have to dance when we get donations.
No. The deal is, for super stickers, I dance. I chair dance.
I know, but I don't want you to hurt yourself.
It's okay. Stop feeling bad for me.
You're 72. You're my dad. I gotta feel bad for you.
It's okay.
All right. And Alexandre did have another contribution and a comment here. Looks like this was an F-150 3 months ago, and they didn't take it based on floor plan. Did they not lose money since? I could run that VIN, but I imagine it's going to show us an F-150 that's been sitting for now 90 plus days. I mean, yeah, they're paying floor plan. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts on new cars. A lot of Ford dealers floor plan through Ford Motor Credit. So they get all sorts of credits back from Ford when they sit on those vehicles. Maybe they put it in service loaner fleet. Maybe that's one way that they were able to mitigate some of their losses. But yeah, trucks that have been sitting for 90, 180, 270 days, like it's not free to have them sit there.
Make another offer. See if they're willing to do anything. See if they're willing to move off of their number and get closer to your number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just thinking, Dad, so when you were running stores, like you literally, your owner is going to be on your butt because you're stroking checks at the beginning of every month to hold on to all that inventory.
If the owner isn't, then shame on the owner.
Yeah. Let's keep moving here, Pops. We've got from Akshay. Thank you, Akshay. Very, very kind. Hello, I'm interested in a Range Rover Sport 2021. I found one that is 20,000 miles, certified pre-owned from a dealership near me in Boston, Massachusetts. The listed price is $65,998. Is this a good deal? I will let my dad talk about Range Rovers or Land Rover Range Rovers for a moment here.
Is it a good deal? I'll I don't know whether or not it's a good deal. I will suggest this to you. What you're looking at is probably limited quantities to begin with. So to find one with 20,000 miles and certified pre-owned through your Land Rover dealer, um, I'm just guessing that if you looked in a 500-mile range, there's not going to be a lot out there for you to choose from. So when you're talking about vehicles that were limited supply to begin with, well, they're even more limited supply as a pre-owned car, and it makes it more difficult to get what you as a buyer might think is a fair price and what a dealer might think is a fair price because of the limited availability.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I would also say, actually, it's not in your question, but I'll go there. Cost of ownership on a Range Rover Sport is going to be significantly higher than pretty much any other.
It
You know,
is it
yeah.
is also, if I'm not mistaken, one of the lowest day supply vehicles
Mhm.
in the country for new cars at the moment, which means when you're looking at a Range Rover Sport HSE Silver Edition, which was limited to begin with, and there's hardly any new ones out there.
It's
eh,
the
eh,
fifth least amount of supply in the United States right now. Range Rover or Land Rover, excuse me, then Cadillac, Lexus, Honda, and Toyota. Those are the lowest days supply of inventory right now.
And when we did fastest selling cars, Range Rover Sport was, I think, second or third or
Yep.
tops.
Yep.
And so that just means that the used ones are going to retain their value because there weren't enough of them to begin with.
Yeah. It's a really, really, really good point.
You're sort of
Dan,
at their mercy.
let's keep it moving here from MZ83. Thank you. Saying lots of thank yous tonight. Y'all have been
Yes.
very generous. When we come back on next Saturday, no need for all this, but it's very, very, very kind.
Yeah.
In the Kansas City area, but having a hard time finding a quote deal, had to branch out to 4 to 6 hours away, one-way distances to find $3,000 to $4,000 worth of savings, and found this one. Here, let's take a quick peek at what MZ83 found. Bear with me, I'm coming back to the car search really quick.
And may I say to MZ83, I
Yeah.
would take that price that you got out of town and I would share that with my local dealer. And I would say, listen, these folks out of town know I ain't never coming back there to service my vehicle. I should be buying my vehicle from you. You're my local dealer. Now, I'm not going to necessarily ask you to beat their deal, but
It's a
I would
used
think at
car, though, so that makes it tricky.
yeah, I would think at the very least you should meet their deal because you're going to have me as a service customer and they're not. Of course, you're on a used car, so that makes it a little more difficult.
Definitely. But you can look at this price history, Dad. This is super interesting. So as a new car, this was an $82,000 GMC Yukon Denali, obviously the top trim for the Yukon. And then you can see as a used car, originally listed at $63,801. And for those of you out there who have been waiting with bated
Yeah,
breath for us to talk about the used cars side of things, there you go. This is pretty representative of what's going on. It looks like just the other day they've been playing around with the numbers a little bit. But I mean, they've come down, what is that, $7,000?
six or seven thousand,
Six or
six
seven
thousand,
thousand
six
dollars.
$6,000. Yeah,
So there you go. I mean, that's representative of what's going on in the used car market right now. And, you know, go out of state. We are obviously helping a ton of people with that than the shipping to get it back to your door. I mean, it's something that makes sense. But to my dad's point, you are more valuable to a car dealer if you do your service with them.
exactly.
Does the sales side care that much about it? They should if
They
their pay
better.
plans are structured the right way. But
They,
at some point, sometimes they might not.
they better care about it. It's when you realize that at most dealerships, most new car dealerships, that the service department, it's called service absorption. What that means is there's a benchmark that every dealer tries to get to. And the benchmark is that you want 70% service absorption. What do I mean when I say that? That means that the service department should produce enough profit that it covers 70% of all of the store's expenses.
It's
Okay.
insane.
Well run dealerships have service absorption at 80, 90, 95, 105%, where the service department produces so much profit that it covers all of the store's expenses. And the new and used car departments, everything they sell is just pure profit. So if a new car manager or used car manager doesn't care, they're the wrong new car manager or used car manager. You want to build up that service department so that whatever you sell your new and used cars for are going to be profitable, because the store's already profitable from what service absorption has done.
Definitely. But then at the end of the day, pay plans aren't always structured based on the whole dealership's performance. They could be just structured on, the sales side versus the service side. Let's keep it moving and grooving, Pops. We have here from Harnan. Thank you for the Canadian contribution. We love to
Yes.
see those. This is a VIN for a brand new 2023 Mazda MX-5. I don't know what's the MX-5.
MX-5 GT. That's the Miata.
Is that that? Are you sure?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Mazda MX-5. Yeah, it's the Miata. All right. Thank you. I know there's some trims that are Canada specific, excuse me. Okay, so we got a Miata.
Yes.
Listed at $40,000 Canadian. Can I negotiate more? The original price was $43,000 Canadian. Perfect time to be in the market to buy a Miata, right?
I would think.
Yeah,
you're nowhere near springtime there, so yeah, I would think you should still have some negotiating power.
Yeah, I would definitely be pushing. That being said, the fact that you've gotten $3,000 off. We do plenty of work with Mazda dealers. There's not a ton of markup in the Mazdas. Mazdas have about 2 to 3% holdback off of the dealer invoice price, and then probably on a $43,000 Miata, maybe there's $1,000 in spread, $1,200, $1,500 in spread. So like the fact that you're already $3,000 down, that's like a pretty damn good deal, I would imagine.
Well, then you're talking Canadian, so we don't really know the Canadian market that well. But I would suggest it ain't springtime in Canada,
Definitely.
And it's not springtime for Hitler in Germany, according to the Mel Brooks movie and play, The Producers.
From James Meacham. Thank you for the
James.
contribution, James. In the market for a new truck, if I use CarEdge, can you get offers for different trucks, i.e. Ram and Toyota? Are you then able to compare CarEdge offers to offers outside the CarEdge network before purchasing? Thank you. James, you can do whatever you want, man. If you want to get pricing from us as if you were buying it from CarEdge, and then you want to shop it, with other offers, do it. There's more power to it. There's no pressure if you're going to buy a car from CarEdge. We have two different offerings. One is where we've got pre-negotiated pricing. You just press a button and you buy a car. The other is we have a concierge service. The concierge service costs money. Costs $1,500. It's expensive. And the reason it's expensive is because we contact typically more than 15 dealers on your behalf, do all the haggling and the negotiating. I don't want to grow the concierge business, gang. That's not the goal. The goal is to be able to do the pre-negotiating so that we can actually save more money for you and, quite frankly, make it more efficient for the dealers as well. There shouldn't have to be negotiating. We should be able to get it done at the first of every month, understand inventory, things like that. So, James, there's some more context around, how it actually works. If it's a dealer that's in our network, you can just submit your information, request pricing from us. We'll give it to you. And then the concierge is a paid service where we obviously, that's more of you're going to make sure you're paying the lowest price, or a lower price, I should say.
And it is such a time and labor intensive side of the business
I admire and really appreciate our concierge team. They do yeoman's work. I mean, last month it was 70 concierge deals that they did. The month before was 90. I mean, it's pretty insane, and it's also just so labor intensive. So that's why I'm really interested in getting closer to the price. Should just be the price. You push a button and we get it shipped to your house. Sim, thank you for the contribution as well. How much does CarEdge push dealers on lowering the price when negotiating on people's behalf, especially in this overpriced market? I think I just gave you some context there, and I feel a little bit nervous of making this an infomercial about our services. But the concierge service, we're pushing, obviously. And then when we have dealers in our network, we're doing the best we can based on our understanding of market conditions and what we think is fair for the community based on all those concierge deals that we do. So it's a nice virtuous cycle that we have going on behind the scenes. But Sim, just like we were saying, James, just submit your info and you can get pricing. And we're working so you don't even have to submit your info to get pricing. It'll probably take us another month or two, but you should just be able to see the pricing right there. It's something we're working on. And John, coming to the rescue here at the end after all of my infomercial, but don't hurt yourself when you do this.
There we go. Yeah, buddy. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm rolling. Oh, wait. Pull me back.
And he actually did. He did actually have a question. A Grand Highlander Hybrid Limited this is going to be somewhere in like Massachusetts or something like that. I was looking today for one of our customers on a Toyota Grand Highlander Hybrid. You can get MSRP on these vehicles if you're open to color. The customer we were trying to help with wanted Coastal Cream. Did you know that there was a colorway from Toyota called Coastal Cream on a Grand Highlander Hybrid?
I did not.
I can't find it, man. I just can't find it. If you wanted white pearl chill, they're everywhere. You can get one at MSRP. So John, that's kind of the lay of the land on the Grand Highlander hybrids. I was literally helping a customer with that earlier today.
Look at you.
You going Coastal Cream or you're going cherry white metallic pearl?
You know, on vehicles that are hard to get, I'm open to color.
John says we just want blue. John, you're good, man. You should get MSRP. We could ship you one from down south. Our dealer partner is a little further south than where you would be, but we could ship you one. Again, submit your info and we can try and help you out. But yeah, you should be able to find MSRP even in your neck of the woods. And from Emmanuel, any good lease deals on small SUVs or crossovers? I have a lease on a Nissan Sentra that matures in a month with $2,000 in equity. Are you on top of what's going on in the lease game, Pops? Or I can point Emmanuel to our President's Day sale where we're tracking all the best lease deals.
I am not on top, but I would imagine there's any number of good lease deals out there for smaller SUVs. On the Mazda side of things, I know for a fact there's some good leases on the CX-30 and the CX-50. I don't know about Subaru so much. I would venture a guess that Honda has some good lease programs. They typically do. Buick probably has some lease programs on their smaller SUVs. So yeah, I'm sure because all the manufacturers have realized that they want to get back to supporting leases so they can be bringing their customers back into the market again every 3 years, as opposed to having them sign up for 72, 84, or 96-month loans and then know they're not going to see those people again for 5, 6, or 7 years.
I dropped the link for the lease deals by month. I will also say lease, when you return a lease and you stay with the same brand, there's typically a credit, a loyalty credit that you get. Their way to try and keep you there, $500,000, something like that. So that's something that you should keep in mind.
They'll waive the disposition fee.
And in the same breath, there are also typically conquest incentives if you're going to a similar but different brand, or there can be. So just check out all your possible incentives. We're doing some work behind the scenes so that on our website, we'll be able to offer that to you as well, so that when you see the pricing, you'll also be able to see incentives. But it's a lot of work, guys. You know, we've been after this for a while. Speaking of work, Dad, let's call it a work week. You and I'll be working a little bit tomorrow, but enjoy your night.
Thank you.
I'm going to go enjoy mine. Thank you, everyone, for spending some time with us. And thank you as well, Pops, for, at 72, hurting your back and working through the pain. You're 4, man. You're entering your prime as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, God. If this is my prime, I feel really poopy now. I think,
you don't look that, Dad. You don't look
thank
that.
you, but may I say, I think I am well past my prime, young man, and I'm okay with that. I have had a very fine and fun life. So, but yeah, I'm well past my prime, but looking forward to the fourth quarter and perhaps overtime. So there you have it.
Love it, Dad. Love you very much. I'm going to go for a long run tomorrow. Keep training for the Ironman. Try my best to not get in my head and psych myself out of it. And then I'll see you at some point tomorrow afternoon so we can knock out some videos. And yeah, I love you. I'll catch you later.
Absolutely. I'm here to do videos tomorrow because, ladies and gentlemen, even past my prime, I work 7 days a week. I'll do anything I can to support this young man, and I love you as well.
See you guys later. Thank you, everyone.
Good night, everybody.